All right, here we go. So we're going to read one of these stories out of Orphan Train, and there are three of them, and we've read some of them before, and here we are up onto the third story, which is called Irish Strong William, Orphan Train Riders, Chapter 1. There's nothing left for us to love in Ireland. Ireland killed everything we loved, your mother, your sisters, and all of our potatoes. America, that's where we'll be going. They will have food in America. I will get a good job building railroads in America. Everything will be better in America, Da declared. America, America, America. William had been hearing about America for the past uncountable number of days as their ship crossed the ocean. He didn't care much where the ship stopped, as long as it stopped. He'd had enough of this smelly, rocking ship full of sick people. America, America, America. His father wasn't the only one talking about America. His new friend, Shane, who was traveling alone, talked about it constantly. There are big buildings in America. Anyone can earn lots of money in America. The richest people in the world live in America. Shane would ramble on. America, America, America. William was glad his little brother Hugh couldn't talk yet, but he wouldn't be surprised if his first word was America. It was obvious to William that everyone on the boat really wanted to get to America. What wasn't obvious to him was why America would want them. A boat full of starving and tired Irishmen. When they finally landed, they stood in long lines, took showers, then waited to be examined by doctors. Throughout the entire process, Shane chattered away about America. Do you know what they call entering America? That walking through the golden door. I wonder if there's lots of gold in America. Maybe I can find some and send it back to my family in Ireland. One day we'll have enough, and they'll be able to join us here. Then all of us will live together again. America, that's where everything is going to change. At last it was their turn to be examined. Shane went first, then William, then baby Hugh, and finally Da. Sir, I'm sorry, but you'll have to step out of line, the doctor said firmly to William's father. What's wrong? Da asked, alarm creeping into his voice. Only healthy people are allowed to be let into America. You are sick. You have tuberculosis. I can see the beginning stages in your throat. It is not uncommon for people sharing small spaces, like the boat you have been traveling on, to contract the disease. I am sorry, but you will not be allowed into the country. What am I supposed to do? Da asked in shock. Well, you can go back to where you came from, the doctor answered coldly. But what about my boys? Da asked in panic. They are healthy. They can continue on into America. Now, please, move aside. I have more immigrants to examine. Da walked numbly to the side of the room, motioning William and Hugh into his arms. Shane also walked over. Boys, I don't know what to do. I wish your mother were here, Da whispered, hugging them close. The three of them stood silently, hugging fiercely, until Da spoke again suddenly. Shane, you are traveling alone. Do you want some company? The boy stammered, unsure of what to say. Would you take William? I will give you our travel money, Da said, pressing a wad of bills into his hand. You are old enough to find good work. Together, you two can make it. Shane looked at him in shock, but finally answered, Yeah, I can take him. Da, no, I don't want to leave you, William cried as he realized what was happening. Listen, William, Da said sternly. There is nothing for you in Ireland. If you come back, you will surely starve. I am sick. I cannot help you anymore. I will take baby Hugh and travel back to your grandmother's. She will take care of him. Please, Dot, don't leave me, William begged. I don't want to hear another word, except this. Trust. Da began, waiting for William to complete the family motto. In God, said William softly. Honor, Da continued. Your family. Irish. Strong. William finished looking into his Da's shining green eyes. Nothing else needed to be said. William's father gave him one more tight hug, stood holding Hugh with one arm, turned and walked out the door. Shane took hold of William's hand and marched him in the opposite direction, to America. Whew, that's a powerful chapter. So, man, I'm sure as I can be that when Da said that goodbye, he realized he would never see William again. He's sick with this disease called tuberculosis, which was deadly, one that we get vaccinated for now, so it's not a problem, but it's a deadly disease, killed thousands upon thousands of people. Something that some kids find funny right away in this chapter, it said that Ireland killed everything we loved, and they mentioned potatoes. That's not a joke. So if you look up and Google the Irish potato famine, you'll find out that in Ireland, thousands, tens of thousands of people, poor people, relied on potatoes as one of their main foods, and potatoes, there was a famine, and lots of people died and left Ireland because of that. Okay, here we go, on to Chapter 2. Chapter 2. Stay here. I'll be right back, Shane demanded, shooing William into the back of the crate. The crate was nestled behind a heap of trash in the back of an alley. It was where they would be sleeping tonight. Shane had never left William alone before, and the whole situation was making William feel nervous. But where are you going? William asked. Don't worry about where I am going. Just stay in the box, and don't get out until I come back, Shane yelled at him as he walked away. That had been hours ago, when it had just begun to get dark. Now it was pitch black, and Shane was not back. William huddled in the back of the crate and shivered in the cool night air. The sounds of the noisy city surrounded him and kept him from falling asleep. He was scared and alone. He was about to cry when he remembered the last thing his father had said to him. Trust in God. Honor your family. Irish strong. He was repeating that mantra when he heard footsteps coming in his direction. Closer, closer, closer. Suddenly, something grabbed his foot, and he cried out, Shh! It's just me. Move over and make some room for me. Shane? Yeah, Shane. Who else would it be? Now, go to sleep. Shane, I'm hungry, William quietly whined. I can give you a knuckle sandwich or you can go to sleep, Shane responded gruffly. William tucked himself down into the crate, wondering when Shane had gotten so mean. He was always nice on the boat, making up games to keep him occupied. He agreed to help William when his da had gotten sick. He comforted William, and until this point had taken good care of him. But something seemed different tonight. Now that Shane was back, though, William wasn't so scared, and it was a bit warmer with the two of them tucked into the box. He was finally able to fall asleep. In the morning, William awoke with a sore neck and an empty belly. His stomach grumbled loudly, so he nudged Shane awake and picked up where last night's conversation left off. Shane, I'm hungry. Well, what do you want me to do about it? Shane answered grouchily. Well, let's use some of my da's money to buy breakfast. We can't. It's all gone, Shane said softly. His voice was changing from mean to ashamed. Gone? We spent it all already? William asked, confused. No. I lost at gambling last night, Shane said so softly it almost came out as a whisper. Shane, my dad trusted you, William yelled. I know, I screwed up, okay? But we've been wandering the streets for 3 days with no place to stay and no work. I thought if I won a little more money, we could pay to stay at a boarding house, and I could leave you there while I work, but I lost. Well, so now what do we do? I don't know. Shane, I'm still hungry. I know, kid. Me too. They crawled out of the box, dusted themselves off, and walked together out of the alley. Even though it was early, the streets were already busy with vendors, getting their carts ready for the day's customers. The delicious smell of food being sold made the boys' mouths water. Hey, I have an idea, Shane said, pulling William off to the side of the street. Here's my plan, he said, whispering it into William's ear. Are you sure? William asked, after hearing the plan. Are you hungry or not? William was still angry at Shane for losing his da's money, but he didn't really trust that this was a good plan. But he didn't know what else to do. Yeah, William finally agreed, ready to do almost anything to get some food. "All right, then, let's get going," Shane said, shoving him forward. William stumbled into the street and walked nervously over to a pastry cart. When he got near the front of the cart, he pretended to trip and threw himself in front of the vendor's feet. He was so nervous and overwhelmed that the tears came easily. As he made a fuss, the cart vendor bent to help him up and check for injuries. Then Shane snuck up to the back of the cart and snatched 2 pastries. Within moments, the vendor had William back up on his feet and was on his way. "That was brilliant," Shane praised when they met up a few blocks down the road. "Let's do it again." The boys greedily gulped down their stolen breakfast as they walked and searched for the next victim of their plan. A few minutes later, Shane pointed to a milk cart, and William nodded. William repeated the same routine, but this time it didn't work out as well. When the vendor turned to look at William, he saw Shane out of the corner of his eye. "Stop, thief!" the vendor yelled. Shane turned and ran, straight into the belly of a cop. Shane bounced off the man and turned to run in the other direction, but the policeman was too quick and too strong. He stretched an arm out and grabbed Shane by the collar. He marched Shane over to the vendor, made him hand back the milk, and apologize. Then the officer began down the street, Shane's collar still firmly gripped in his big muscular hand. William stood stunned for a moment, but then ran off after Shane and the policeman. He was breathing hard when he finally caught up with them. "Please, sir," William pleaded, "where are you taking him? Are you taking him to jail?" The policeman stopped, walked Shane over to an alley, and sat him down on a pile of boxes, a pile not all that different from the one they had slept in last night. The policeman lifted William up to sit next to him. The 3 of them sat for a moment staring at each other. "All right, tell me your story, lads," the cop barked. William and Shane were surprised to hear his Irish accent. Somehow it made him a bit more trustworthy. It was Shane who spoke first, figuring he'd better do his best to get him out of the mess that he created. "Well, officer, we just got to America 3 days ago. I came by myself, see, because I'm trying to earn some money for my family. And William's family starved, except his da and his baby brother. But when we got here, his da was sick, and so he asked me to take him. We don't know anyone here, and we didn't have anywhere to stay. I thought maybe if I made a little money, we could get a place, but no one's about to hire me, even if I am 15 and strong, when I have to drag this little one around, so—" "Yes?" the police officer said, motioning for him to continue the story. "So I tried to win us some money, gambling, and it didn't work out so well. We're hungry, so we tried to steal some breakfast. We're real sorry, and we know right from wrong. We just didn't know what else to do." Shane finished and then looked down into his lap. "I see," the policeman said. "Well, let me tell you my story. My name is Officer Sullivan. When I was 15, I also came to this country from Ireland. New York is and was a hard place, especially for an Irishman. But with some honest hard work and some friends, I was able to get a good job. Now I have a family and a place of my own." "Irish strong," William said softly. "Say again?" Officer Sullivan asked. "It's something my da always says. Irish strong, that's what you're," explained. "Aye, right. And when I saw your redhead freckled face," he said, pointing to Shane, "I knew where you were from. And you, little un, with your dark green eyes, are a dead giveaway. So how about I be your friend in New York? Let me take you to a place that helps kids like you. Will you come with me there?" "Do they have food?" Shane asked. "Yep, food and much more. They have showers, clean clothes, and beds to sleep in," Officer Sullivan said. "This'll do you more good than a night in jail. Remember to thank me tonight in your prayers. I might just have saved your lives." "Yes," Shane answered quickly for the both of them. "Yes, we'll go." Officer Sullivan walked them to a large building and left them with the farewell, "Irish strong." All right, that's chapters 1 and 2. So they had this plan to steal some breakfast, and one of the first things they stole was a pastry cart. Now, when we think of pastries, most often we think of things like donuts or things like that, but it could be any sort of bread, a sweet bread, maybe with some jelly or something like that. And so there we have it. And this is based on a real stories, historical fiction. These kind of things happened. That disease, tuberculosis, and that was a big deal, and that kept a lot of immigrants out. All right, we hope